Hey everyone, Chris here from AV.technology. I'm here with James Knight, CEO of Xilica in Australia, James. Welcome to Australia.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And there is something to talk about with your presence in Australia. I'll let you talk about it. What are you doing? How are you addressing Australia as a territory?
Yeah, thank you. So with the launch of the RoomHub at ISE, we understand the market opportunity for us now in the Australian region. We've appointed Jim, who you've known for a long time, to come.
Everybody knows Jim Saritas.
Yeah, to come and manage our business here. With Jim's appointment, we have a lot more presence in the market, and with that presence, we also want to be able to match it with the local support and local stock and everything else. So, Audio Brands is now our representative for sales here, and it's Pacific AV.
Yep.
Over the pond.
Over the ditch. Pond, ditch,
yeah.
Body of water, Tasman Sea.
Over the Tasman. So yeah, new distribution, new presence with us as a manufacturer, new products, new cloud solution coming to market. There's a lot of stuff going on.
So, James, Xilica. People will have their preconceptions about what Xilica is or isn't. And you're changing those preconceptions with RoomHub.
So. Yeah.
And I guess the way you're going about things. If you had to sort of straw man or steel man Xilica from the past to now, how would you describe what people may have thought about Xilica and what you want them to think?
Yeah, so we're 23 years old now, and we've had a really strong heritage in pro audio, in processing for live sound, for broadcast, for cinemas. And that's great. But in 2020, our business changed. We refocused on the UCC market. We've had some configurable audio products for the UCC space, which have been around now for five years. But as a smaller player in the audio category, what we've realized is that we need to be different.
Sure.
We need to look at where the opportunity is as an organization. And there's a lot of consolidation in the industry. There's a lot of commoditization as well in terms of the technology. A lot of brands are doing very similar things. They obviously have their variables, but overall they're very similar. So for us, we wanted to look at where was the space that we as an organization could play in, and where our strengths make much more of a difference. So we think that creating a simple solution for medium and large spaces, classrooms and conference rooms, that's easy to deploy, easy to install, easy to manage, which doesn't require as much knowledge and training and expertise as some of the other systems, that's a very interesting sweet spot for us. And we've been working on that now for about 3.5 years. We did a lot of research, we did about 1.5 to 2 years of market research with our customer advisory board, with analysts, with consultants, and what we believe we have now, which is coming to market now and is in testing with customers in the real world, is really exciting.
So that leads us to talk about RoomHub, James. What's the RoomHub proposition?
So Xilica's heritage is all about making DSPs, right?
Yes.
And we made DSPs for 23 years. RoomHub's not a DSP.
Okay.
It's not a DSP.
Departure.
It's really an AV compute. DSP is an embedded feature. So we think that, or I think, and we think, that DSP as a product category in itself, for the UC space, for medium and large meeting rooms, is essentially dead. DSP doesn't need to be an individual product. DSP is in iPhones, right? But you don't call it a DSP with a phone.
Sure.
It's just a feature of it. And so the RoomHub is actually an IoT hub. The core focus of the product is the cloud management and the connectivity. DSP simply operates inside that. We have an AI engine in the product, we have an ML engine in the product, we have Auracast for assistive listening, we have Bluetooth, we have integrated control. And essentially what it's about is is not just a single box, it's about an ecosystem that goes into space, how we can communicate with other devices in that ecosystem, how we can leverage AI and ML to automatically tune the room, optimize the room, leverage a lot of technologies on top of the configuration of the room that eliminate the variability of room performance based on setup and configuration, but also eliminate the variability of room performance based on the people who are using the room.
Okay.
So if they're not natural presenters, if they're facing the floor, can the microphone still pick them up well and clearly, right? Yep. If the integrator doesn't have time to go and commission every single room, can that room still sound very good and consistently good?
Sure.
That's what RoomHub is about. It's about how we can use technology now. AI, yes, ML, yes, but just technology in general to make the deployment, the management, and the use of those medium and large meeting rooms as easy as a video bar.
Sure.
But with the proper quality of audio, right?
Sure. Yes, and I'm hearing that you care about audio.
23 years making DSPs.
Exactly.
How can we not?
It's as much a software product as it is a hardware product.
I'd say it's more of a software product, absolutely, because it's a standard compute, so everything is software, which means that, yes, we've got features now, but we had a panel this morning on AI in the meeting room with some consultants, some end users, and what people said is there's never been a technology shift ever before that's been so fast as the adoption of AI, right? And if you look at ChatGPT 4.0, and now there's a 5.0, and it's slower, but it's giving a lot more interesting answers to things. If you look at, if we've got an AI product, in a year, is it going to be out of date, right? If your product is software driven, you can have customers subscribe to over-the-air firmware updates that enable a continuous upgrade of those features over time. So they're always getting the best quality.
Yes. So talk about AI and the use of AI in RoomHub. What is it doing? What's it attempting to do?
Yeah, so we've had a lot of conversations at the show with people who are wondering, does the RoomHub send audio into the cloud and then the AI is in the cloud? You can have AI in the cloud, but you can also have tiny AI engines that run on the product, and that's the case in this application, because we want to ensure that there's a high degree of security and safety with customer data, especially as our customers are large corporates, education, and the government market. So AI in our product at launch, at the beginning, is all about optimizing the room, making it sound really good, making it sound in a consistent way across lots and lots of rooms. But it's also about getting rid of the natural variabilities in these spaces, things like background noise, jackhammers in the CBD, people coming into the room who are banging, me on the table, let's see if you have AI on the road, So there's all of this stuff that goes on that disrupts meetings that's just normal human human interaction. And so the AI is about cutting out what doesn't matter so we can focus on what does. And it's also about enabling people to not focus so much on how they're meeting and focus on what they're talking about.
With RoomHub, I think you have to know who your audience is, who your customer is. Clearly, you're not a product that's designed for every single UC space in the world. Like, who are you obsessively targeting?
So I think as a manufacturer, you've got to be very, very careful about your customer, who exactly it is that you're targeting, what they're interested in, what's valuable to them, what they truly care about, and then you've got to obsess over it, right? If you try and do too much, and as I was saying earlier, we're a very broad industry, and there's a lot of people in our industry trying to do a lot of different applications of AV, a lot of different types of customer. And there's also a lot of industries outside, like IT, for example, who are doing more and more AV. So there's not a homogenous customer, let's say, in meeting rooms. I think, therefore, you've got to understand the target customer and the customer experience that they want, the purchasing experience that they want, the features that they want in the product, and crucially, to make a great product, the challenges that they actually have, right? Because a product's about selling at something that answers a customer's question or solves a problem. So for us, we're very careful. Our target customer is an end customer whose integrator has to deploy hundreds of meeting rooms very, very quickly on a consistent scale in lots and lots of places at once.
Yep.
Or it's an IT integrator that doesn't have trained and certified techs to go on site and do a large volume of rooms. So we're about trying to make the audio experience in a meeting space as simple and as easy to use and install as possible. Whereas I think, some brands historically, maybe they've tried to cover a larger breadth.
Sure.
And they're covering everything, from stadiums and infrastructure all the way to huddle spaces. And the problem with that is, unless you're a very large company, a multi-billion-dollar company, you don't necessarily have the product management and the engineering and also the customer feedback to really focus and drill in on exactly those customer problems in all of those applications. So for us, it's about being very targeted, very specific. As I was saying, if there's a big executive boardroom with a lot of control, maybe, depends on the customer, but maybe we're not a great fit for that project. That's fine. There's a wonderful brand that does that really well. There's several, right? And so that's the kind of situation where we would say, yeah, we can do this, but actually X brand has a way better solution. But then for the 500 medium and large spaces that don't have lots and lots of control and automated monitors and all that kind of stuff, we're the ideal option.
Well, I wish you all the best with that, James.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing RoomHub in action.